For those of you who don't know me, my name is Tammy Patzer, and I am a social media internet advocate for local businesses, and I have a local marketing company in a small town in Florida. So a lot of, well, everything that you get from me is based on my personal experience, and so that's who I am. And tonight, many of you are new to Website Hero, and what I wanted to do tonight is I wanted to share some information and maybe just remind some of you, and again, you can tell me if you want me to go over it again or not, but what I was going to do is continue on my explanation of tonight. I wanted to talk about the 7-point checklist analysis. And Sunday I spoke about the 3-point. This is a 7-point analysis, and I wanted to just show you the simple checklist that you can use, that you could end up using to create either paid analysis that you would actually charge people for, or that you could use to create free analysis. And I was thinking about it, and I actually found a notebook. I'm one of those people, I fill notebooks with information and ideas, and that's where a lot of you get a lot of this comes from. I'll find my notebook. Like today, I found a notebook, and it opened up, and guess what it says? It says, Website Engagement Review. Hi, this is Tammy Patzer. As promised, I'm going to provide some valuable information about how I can improve engagement on your website. I found that. So that was me. It's all in handwriting, me doing a script that I was going to use as I did a website analysis, and I'll share that with you a little bit later. But I wanted to just talk a little bit about what type of video analysis reviews can you do. Is that something that everyone's interested in? If you can just give me a yes into the chat box, I can see that, because I was going, what I have tonight that I wanted to share, I wanted to talk to you about the video analysis reviews, because if you use, and that's your big tip of the day, is if you use these ideas that I give you, you can make money with it. This is how I have been doing my business for the past 5 years, and how I get attention from people, how I have become the go-to expert in the eyes of businesses, and how I get invited by SCORE, small business development, chambers of commerce, groups and organizations to come and either speak to or do workshops for them. I've done everything from a lunch and learn, an hour-long presentation, to 3 or 4 hour workshops that will spend, Saturday, half a day for a couple Saturdays in a row for business people, because they view my knowledge as, coming from a very knowledgeable source. And then, of course, I also teach at Florida Gulf Coast University. The same stuff I teach all of you, I'm teaching at a local college to local business people, who then attempt to go out and do it for themselves. But most of the time they come back to me and say, Tammy, will you do it for me? So I just want you to think about that. So my vocals is off. My vocal is off. Adjust that. So what type of video analysis can you do? And these are just a few that I want you to think about. You can do a website reputation analysis. You can do a reputation marketing analysis, social media analysis, video. You can even do competition analysis, conversion analysis, and some of these, of course, are a lot more complex. than just going and looking at someone's website. But my point is that you can create an expertise in any one or all of these areas, and you can use this expertise to go out and present yourself as an expert. That's what Website Hero is all about. It's all about having these great websites that you can sell to somebody at a reasonable rate. In the meantime, you are out there representing yourself as a local marketing consultant so that everybody knows that you are a valuable resource and not a commodity. And I think that's really, really important, is that people understand that you are not a commodity salesperson. You bring value to the table as a local marketing consultant, and your expertise in the beginning should be provider of high quality mobile responsive websites, because in my experience, no matter what I tried to sell, everybody wanted a website. People start with a website because they understand the basic concept, and if you start to talk to them about it, they'll understand how valuable a good website is. So I wanted to just get you thinking about that. And then I wanted to reiterate something I taught on Sunday very quickly, and that is, how much can you charge? And is that something that you're also interested um, in? Somebody's asking a question, how do you do video analysis? Anthony, what a video analysis would be when you go and look at their video, if they have video or not, and the tools, if that's the question, that you're using. You can use anything like Jing, Jing, which is a free video lead capture or a video source. You can use Screencast-O-Matic, which is another free service, and if you upgrade $15 a year, you can get the pro version. You can use Snagit or Camtasia or other video tools to actually make the screen capture videos. But all of these analyses can be done using either free or very, very inexpensive screen capture software, and you can make them as long or as short as possible. So what I think I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and show you the 7-point checklist so that you'll get more of an idea of the thought process that I go through, so that you'll understand how you can use everything in your Website Hero toolkit. Now, just to let you know, Website Hero Basic Edition has very specific items in it, everything you need, and then the Expert version has additional tools and samples and really, really good bonuses related to attorneys, plastic surgeons, chambers of commerce, and BNI groups, where I basically show you where to go find all those people who could become your clients. But I think the value is not in showing you where to find them, but in what I say about the process and the thought process I have as I'm developing in my mind how I'm going to go after these different people. I think that's the true value in my Unlimited Leads videos. It's not that I'm showing you where to go find unlimited leads, it's the thought process about what I think about as I discuss it in the video. So that's why I think the Website Hero Expert, you know, you get all of the website and the themes and all of that, and then of course you get the additional training and support. So that's the big difference. Let me go ahead and I'm going to show you this. And again, don't let the simplicity of this fool you, because as you know, simplicity is elegance. Elegant means simplicity. So I just wanted to show this to you. And this is what you would call a custom 7-point website quality checklist, and the 4XXX would be for the name of the client. So this is building on my 3-point system, and I actually go all the way up to 21 website quality checks. And again, I am not digging into the back end of these websites. I'm not doing the tech part of the website. I am doing the what you would call the emotional type questions, trying to find the pain point for a business person. I'm doing more of a psychological type questioning so that I can understand where their pain is in their business so that I can address that and give them what they want, which is typically more cash flow, more clients, better quality prospects, more leads, because they all want money coming into their door. So I'm not looking at, oh, your HTML is off or anything like that. However, that could be part of a paid total analysis that you could do, but that is not what I'm focusing on. So I want you to just kind of pay attention, listen to what I'm saying so that you can kind of get inside my head about how I'm processing this if I was going after a new client or a potential client or even someone I've already talked to. I could use this simple little 7-point checklist, and if you were to record this and you were doing this looking at someone's actual website, I would say a 7-point checklist. If you did your research in advance, you could easily get it done in under 5 minutes, which would be ideal because I'm pretty sure you could keep someone's attention if it was jam-packed with information and you were going through pointing out these different things to them on their website. And in Website Hero, I actually have samples. I have samples that I did of an attorney, of HVAC, and I think a dentist. You know, I randomly went out, and I also did an on-the-fly example on Sunday that is in that training. So our first question, of course, is your website mobile friendly? And the reason I'm asking that, obviously, is because of the Google analytics and algorithm changes that happened in April. We want to be sure that people have mobile friendly, mobile responsive websites. So, you know, yes or no, but you're looking at this, and let's say that the answer is yes. Don't panic and say, oh, I can't help them, or oh, they've already got a website. No, people can have more than one website. They can have digital assets. They should be growing their online footprint. Even if they already have a website, even if they already have a mobile-friendly website, there's probably something that website is missing, and you're going to see what it could be missing because I see it all the time. But if they don't have a mobile-friendly website, boom, you've already got your foot in the door opportunity staring you right in the face because they need a mobile-friendly, responsive website. So you then have the opportunity to say to them, either one, I can fix it, or two, I have a mobile responsive website that I can get ready for you. So do you see what I'm saying, how one question led to all of that, just one simple question. And so if you start to think in terms of questions and answers, and what are you going to say if the answer is yes? What are you going to say if the answer is no? Because it's like the road, you know, I took the high road, you took the low road. It doesn't matter. We still get to the same place. It's just a different path depending on the answer on how you might end up solving their problem. Number two, are you connected to social media sites? Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest. Depending on the business, they may be a business that should be on Pinterest. For example, if they're in, let's say, interior decorators, real estate, anything that is very visual, and especially if it's something that lends itself to women, they really should be on Pinterest. If they're a professional, a CPA, a financial advisor, an attorney, any of the professions, they really should be on LinkedIn. Facebook, everybody hangs out on Facebook. We have more than 1 billion people on Facebook. They really should have a Facebook presence, even if it's not the way they think it should be. Just having a Facebook presence adds one little piece of a digital footprint to them because it gets picked up in Google. YouTube, and I'm a huge video marketing person. I think video should be the foundation of every content marketing plan that you do, because once you do video, you can answer questions, you can do a lot with it. It is something that can end up being part of your continuity package for your website and the local theme jack website. Themes are very conducive to having video on them. So that is a really important thing. You could do an entire online presence analysis just on social media alone. And so that question, of course, as you've heard me keep on expanding, think about all of the things that you can talk about just with the question, are you connected to social media? Not to mention Facebook advertising, YouTube advertising, LinkedIn, Twitter, all of the forms of paid advertising and retargeting. You can even retarget with videos. So there is a huge amount of business that you could create just from, are you connected to social media? Number three, does your site have a lead capture form for email or for phone? That question, talk about a loaded question. If they don't have any lead capture forms, that opens the door for you to create an entire email marketing campaign, follow-up campaigns, educating them on what a list is. A lot of business people think their list is a bunch of business cards in their fishbowl. They have the fishbowl full of cards, but they don't know what to do with it. And it is getting better because with the technological changes, people have, they're starting to realize they can capture information on their phone. They're starting to use email for coupons. They're starting to use SMS texting. And so people are starting to learn, but the opportunity is still out there. There are millions of businesses out there who still don't have even a rudimentary website. They don't have their social media. They don't have a Google Places or a Google site. They don't have a lot of the things in place. I just went to the chiropractor yesterday. She has nothing. And I'm actually going to create an entire footprint for her. Guess what I'm starting with? Yep, I'm starting with my local theme jack chiropractor website. Then I'm going on to build her social media out. I'm going to make some YouTube videos for her. And of course, I'm going to set up her directories and her citations along the way. Number 4. Does your website have a contact us form with all the details? How many times have you seen a website that didn't even have a phone number on the front page or an address? So people, it's like, how do you get in contact with these people? And it's very frustrating for anyone on the internet when they go to a website and there is no phone number or there's no way to contact people. And so just having a contact us form can help them to not only get new clients, but you could then talk to them about their old clients and talk to them about possibly doing a reactivation campaign with the people that they've already done business with. Like, you can ask them questions like, well, if you don't have a contact form, how do people normally contact you? Oh, they write you letters, they call you on the phone. Do you keep track of that? I mean, so you could come up with a whole line of questioning just from this one question. Do you have a contact us form with the details? What are the details? Name, address, phone number, fax, email, website, that type of information. Number 5, here's a loaded question. Does your website have high quality, relevant content? I think this is one of my really favorite lines because I hear myself say it a lot when I speak. High quality, relevant content. This is really important because obviously Google rewards content. And what does high quality mean? High quality, relevant content means that the content relates directly to the topic of whatever the website's about. So if it's an attorney website, for example, the content is all about attorney type stuff. And it doesn't have, something thrown in about air conditioning, that doesn't make sense. So Google rewards website content that is high quality and relevant. Yes, this would be part of search engine optimization, but I am not about teaching about how to stuff keywords or to do things that wouldn't be accepted by Google. So if you keep going by the rules of provide your people what Google wants and what people want, which is high quality, easy to search content, you're never going to get in trouble. I've never had a website disappear during any of these ups and downs and all arounds with Google because I never played any of the games, mainly because when I first started I didn't even know what the games were that I could play. So, so my ignorance just helped me to create something that really worked. Number 6, does your website show your reviews and testimonials? Again, everybody should be capturing testimonials and reviews at their website if at all possible. And you know that reputation marketing is huge because if you have a reputation marketing capture site on your website, then of course you're in control of it and you can use that for customer service. And of course testimonials, including icons from the different media or different businesses that you've done business with, will all be very helpful. So that opens up the door to testimonials, reputation marketing, video reputation marketing, video testimonials, verbal testimonials, all kinds of really good stuff. And what I'm trying to point out, if you're listening, and I'm not saying it, straight out, but every single one of these is a revenue stream that you can open up or tap into. Number 7, is your information regularly updated via blog posts and RSS feeds? This is your revenue stream that I would call your part of your continuity package. So if you have a website, you create your website, you have the hosting, and you have the security updates. Now what? Well, you want them to keep paying you money every month. So that could come in the form of a big lump check that you get to take care of their website for a year or more, or it could come in a monthly income. And how, if you can get paid based on blog posts, RSS feeds, any content you add, any images you add, videos that you add, and you can say, okay, every month I'm going to give you one blog post and one video, and that'll cost whatever, X. Or I'm going to do one blog post a week and one video, and that's going to cost you so much. I mean, the value, obviously, you can make an inexpensive monthly package all the way up into the thousands of dollars, depending on how much that of these, just these 7 points that you do. And then number 8, I added an 8th question to my 7-point checklist because 8 is a money number. I think it's in Chinese. 8 means money. Do you have a long-term marketing plan using your website as a hub? Your website as a hub and a marketing plan, think about it. If you are a local marketing consultant and you ask this question, do you have a marketing plan? And they're like, no, or maybe they do, maybe it's yes. But if they don't, you can say, well, I can put together a 12-month or an 18-month marketing plan, and that will cost you X. It could be $2,500, $5,000. It can, that marketing plan is gold. That is valuable because when you sit down and put together a marketing plan, it basically is a roadmap on how are you going to grow your business this year using an integrated system of online marketing and offline marketing, because I come from the old school marketing where, you know, newspapers and radio and TV and magazines. Well, you can't just cut these people off cold turkey from using those tools. So you have to help them to integrate those into their online plan so that you do truly become a local marketing consultant. It isn't about, oh, I'm just going to go out and sell a website and make a couple $100. Because if you do that, you're not creating a real business. If you're serious about creating a real business, then you have to come up with, okay, I'm going to decide who I'm going to work with, who are my clients, and then, of course, you know that your beginning package is going to be your website and hosting package, and then you're going to determine, well, what am I going to offer later? But if you're brand new to all of this, it can be very, very overwhelming. So you really want to start with something simple, and your website and hosting is about as simple as you can get. And like I said, people want them. And even if they already have them, they still can have more. I have pest control companies that have multiple websites because I have them under their name and I have them under pest control. You know, it's a form of the silo effect marketing, and that's a whole nother type of story. But what I'm pointing out is that you can use questions to make you seen as the value to the people. You are the authority and expert on websites. You become the website hero because of your knowledge, and you're not just out there trying to sell them something, going, yeah, I've got a website, it's $297 plus this and that, and you know, you're not doing that. You're actually providing them with value. And my point is that you can make these simple website quality video checklists using video, and that makes you stand out from the crowd because not everybody is actually using video proposals, you know, to sell to the average person. You know, when they get a video and you're saying, you know, hi Bob, this is Tammy, I made this 7-point website quality checklist for you, you know, they're going to go, wow. And it can be very powerful, and it's very powerful, useful as a follow-up tool. And so I just wanted to point that out. So let me go back. Do you want me to keep answering some questions? Somebody's asking me, oh, number 8. Let me go back. Let me go ahead and I'll look at some of the questions here, and then I'll go on. Number 8 is, do you have a long-term marketing plan using your website as a hub? My point with question number 8 is that if they need a marketing plan, which should be at least 12 months to 18 months, if not longer, into the future, so that they can see what they need to do and they need to budget for it. If you become the person who creates that marketing plan for them, you can do it, you can seriously sell them the marketing plan for anywhere from $2,500 and up, because I'm talking about a complete marketing plan for them, and then you become the service provider, so you benefit from that, or you hand it to them and they can have somebody else do it. But you actually get paid to provide that marketing plan. The biggest, I'll tell you, the biggest mistake that I made when I first started out was I'm embarrassed, but hey, I did it, and it was me being me and being new. I wanted to get an air conditioning company. It was one of my very first, probably my 4th or 5th client, but this was going to be big. And they wanted a proposal. I spent 40 hours, I'm not kidding, 40 hours, a full week, Tammy up in the morning, Tammy working all day. I researched everything under the sun, all of their online marketing, their offline marketing, TV, radio. I got budgets. 40 hours to make a proposal. I turned it in. The guy didn't even read it. However, I did get the job. I did get them to pay me $2,500 a month, and that included videos and some Google AdWords and some social media. So I did get some ongoing, $2,500 a month income coming in, but I did not have to work so hard. I didn't have to do a 40-hour proposal to get that $2,500 that nobody read. That's my point. You can do these things that 3 points, 7 points for free, but if you're going to actually do like a big proposal, that is a marketing plan. They need to pay you for that. So don't get into the idea that you have to make big, giant proposals. Like if it's a website and hosting, it's a website and hosting, and it costs X, and then you, of course, talk to them about what you need from them to do that, to fill it out. But don't make the mistake of, like I did, of 40 hours to put together a proposal that nobody would read, when if I had just focused on what I would do for them instead of showing them everything that could be done for them, I would have probably had it done in a couple hours and out the door. So let me see if there's another couple questions here. Alexa, the hosting company, Jack has some suggestions on hosting companies, and he typically talks about, I believe, Host9. But in the works, just to let you guys know, Jack and his team are actually coming up with an entire done-for-you hosting plan so that you guys wouldn't even have to worry about that in the future. But right now, typically Host9 is a company that seems to do pretty well. Karen, do we have a marketing plan? If you, in local marketing, a marketing plan is, you can look at it in a couple ways. It could be the services that you want to put together to offer them, or you can go deeper and develop an entire marketing plan that would include all the marketing for their company. Either way, my point is you should get paid for it. If you're not at that level, which it takes time to get to that level, I would just stick with, I'm going to offer websites and hosting package A, which would become your uh, bronze package or your quick start package. I think I called mine the quick start success formula, and or quick start success plan. And then my package B was a little bit bigger, and then package C, I would keep it to 3 offerings, you know, A, B, C. One's a bare minimum, website hosting and whatever you need to do to customize your local theme jack, and then I would add to it your additional ongoing monthly support with a minimum of something new once a week, because that way by the end of a year, for example, let's say well, once a month or once a week, a blog post, for example, if you did 12 once a month, you'd have 12 blog posts. If you did once a week, they'd end up with 52 blog posts. That's pretty substantial when you start to think about it. If they did 1 video a month, that would be 12 videos at the end of the year. And you know, there's so many ways that you can package this, but you don't want to get overwhelmed in the beginning. So just offer a website and hosting as your bread and what they would call your bread and butter package of, you know, this is going to be what you can sell that you can make money off of. You know, you can sell them and then make so much money week after week or month after month on it. So, you know, that's how I would view it, is kind of go with creating a small, doable bread and butter package, you know, meaning what you sell to bring in your bread and butter, and then the bigger packages would be what you're selling to, you know, increase your profit margin on that. Alexa, back on the hosting. Yes, if you tell them, this is my take on it. If you go sell them a website and then you do not provide the hosting for them under your company, then you're doing them a disservice, because then you became a commodity. Because then you said, here's a website, see ya, next. If you want to create real relationships and have a real business, you have to provide a website with hosting, and you are the liaison, or your company is the liaison between the hosting company and the website, the people on the website. Because, for example, let's say that you create a website, you hand it over to your people, they're going to town, and one day they put too much information in and their website goes dark because they overuse their allotted amount of space. Well, you'll know it way before they do, because you're monitoring this. And so you go, oh, and you go in and literally give them more space. If they get hacked, you contact the hosting company, and the hosting company will fix it for you as part of their service to you. It is not as hard as what people imagine it to be. It's phone calls and alerts. I mean, it isn't something that you should say, oh no, I don't want to do that, because if you're going to sell websites, you should be there as the service provider for the website, and that's how you create relationships with people, and that's how you get more business, and how you grow from, oh, I'm making part-time income, you know, I'm making $500 a month, to, oh, I'm making $10,000 a month. I can now support my family. You know, that's the difference, is just adding these little services that make you, like we said, the website hero. They make you the go-to person, and that's who you want to become. Because once you become the go-to person, they're going to ask you to not only do their website stuff, they'll ask you for marketing advice on everything they do. I have clients who I do brochures for, I do printing, I do offline marketing, newspaper, I do whatever it is because I'm their go-to person. If they need something, they call me. And even if I don't do it personally, I don't say no. I find somebody to do it for them, but I handle it so that they don't worry. They just, oh, Tammy will take care of that. And that's the type of business you want to have good customer service, and it is not as difficult as it appears to be if you're helping out. Anthony, no, the written marketing plan is not part of Website Hero. It's just a question that I wanted you to open your mind with.
So Tammy, let's finish the presentation.
Arlene?
Tammy, let's finish the presentation, okay. And
okay.
Then we do the free question at the end.
Does anybody want me to, I already talked about how much to charge on Sunday. Do we have enough people here that you want me to go over some price points again?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So this is the price points that I wanted to talk about is that if you were to do a 21-point website analysis for someone, you could charge them $500 to $750, and the prices I'm quoting, just to let you know, are prices that I have charged and other local marketing consultants from around the United States. I always hesitate to give pricing just because I don't know where you are, and there could be, like, somebody in New York City could probably charge a lot more than somebody in Englewood, Florida, or, Podunk, Mississippi, So I want you to adjust for wherever you're at around the world. So in a website analysis, and this is really important, you're going to tell them what is wrong with their website in a report they can use, but you don't tell them how to fix it. Like, for example, you don't give them everything they need in a website analysis, but you say, okay, well, you need a lead capture form and an email autoresponder system. So you tell them what they need and then why they need it, and then if they want it, again, they paid for this analysis, they can give it to anybody they want, but more than likely they're going to hire you to fix it. So of course, everything that you find that is wrong, it could help you get a job. For example, I was talking to, I believe it was Arlene the other day, about spelling and grammar on websites. That's how I got my plastic surgeon, is I saw that he had a lot of typographical spelling, grammar, and his name was misspelled on his website. And I contacted him about that. Grammar and spelling are such good door openers. So that is another way that you could actually make money, just on something as simple as I'll proofread your website. You could make money doing that. A Google Plus setup could range anywhere from $500 to $895. And as you know, Google Plus is connected to Google Maps and also to YouTube. So depending on how deep you go into the Google Plus setup, that would include, setting up all of their basic information and their custom image and their photo and connecting it all up, $500 to $895. List building. That, of course, would be if you were to set them up with an email campaign with maybe 5 to 7 autoresponders, easily $500 setup with $200 to $300 a month to keep it going. And as you know, you have Aweber as an autoresponder. I think there's GetResponse. There's many, many to choose from. You would just choose the best autoresponder for you. Okay, do not jump from Aweber, which is like $20 a month, to Infusionsoft, which is, you know, like $2,500 setup and $250 a month. You have to always start small and then build from there. Don't jump into these, you know, these massive programs. Like Infusionsoft does so much, but until you're ready for it, all you need is something simple, like an Aweber, which is a pretty basic system. Directory building and citations. Again, people need their directories updated and claimed. So directory building and citations, $495 setup with $500 or more ongoing. Now, note that there are services that you can apply to, but when I did the research, $3 to $5 was the typical amount per directory that you have to pay for it. So a $495 setup with $500 ongoing, what you would want to do is say, okay, you're going to get this many directories per month at this rate. So, you know, then you could figure out, you know, how long and how many directories you're going to have set up for them every month. Review marketing or reputation marketing. You can help companies get good reviews, meaning that you can set up entire systems for them. For example, I have a jewelry store, and I set up a reputation system for them where the people will get a card that they fill out, and they can go online to talk about the jewelry store. And it's set up from $500 and up, again, depending on the complexity of what you're doing, and the ongoing monthly can be $300 to $500. Again, these are ranges, and it all depends on the complexity. Okay, so those are just some price ideas. I wanted to just give one thing on what to say, and then I'll open it up to questions since we're already almost into an hour. But this is a proven pitch that we created in a live interaction class that I had a few weeks ago, and I worked on this with Lenny Davis, and she's in Hawaii, and she was trying to come up with something to use on a plastic surgeon. And so this was one that we took and we mashed it together, but it came out, I think, really good. And she went out and used it at a chamber event, a BNI event, and also with a plastic surgeon, and she got people who wanted to follow up with her. So it works. So it says, I help local businesses who are struggling to be found online. So it could be, I help plastic surgeons, I help attorneys, I help plumbers, whoever it is you're talking to. If you know what their specific business is, it's very powerful. Or just want more customers, patients, or clients. So again, if you're talking to a doctor, you would say patients. If you're talking to an attorney, it would be clients. And a business store owner, it would be customers. I do that by creating a massive online footprint with digital media that best fits the business. And again, we tweak that a little bit. You could add, you know, the niche into that again. It may include press releases, email marketing, mobile websites. It really depends on the business. We determined that we didn't want to overload them, so we came up with 3 things that we would talk about. And of course, your 3 things will be whatever your 3 things are. And then we said, all of my clients are thrilled by their online presence and how it's helped them grow their customer base. So that is a social proof sentence. And then the call to action is, I'm offering a free online presence analysis in 3 minutes or less. Is a lunchtime call a good time for us to talk. So in this particular case, we're talking about a free online presence analysis in 3 minutes or less. And that would be if you were to do the 3 to 7 point analysis, you could easily come up with 3 really solid points and give them this analysis in 3 minutes or less. And then she's asking, in this case, is a lunchtime call a good time for us to talk? This worked, and other people have used it, and it works. So this is a really good short, it's about 30 seconds long, little pitch that you can say if you were to be talking to someone in person. You could even use this as part of an email, or you could use it in a voicemail. Just the thing about voicemail, if you are using it in a voicemail, keep it short. Goldfish attention span is 8 seconds, and humans have an attention span that is less than 8 seconds. So think about that. So that's what I have, Jack. And again, for those of you who haven't gotten the website Hero, I think it really is a golden opportunity, because if you go to the sales page, you can read all of the different components of it. But what I gave you tonight, the 7-point checklist is in it, and I did record training for the 3-point, the 7-point, and the 21-point checklist. Make sure you watch all the videos, but you can take this information and start using it immediately. And then, of course, you have the websites and all of the other information that you get. So you really do have a nice package of information that you can go out and use immediately.
Brian said, time to get to work to implement it. So guys, I will put the link inside the chat box in case you haven't seen my email about it. Enter yes or no if you grab Website Hero today. Arlen said yes. Lloyd said yes. Gary said yes. Deb said yes. Todd said yes. Anthony said yes. Karen said yes. Roger yes. JB said yes. Brian said I'm going to. CA said yes. Ken said yes. Steve said yes. Don said yes. Tom said yes. Brian said yes. Best investment I make this year. Wow.
Wow. Thanks, Brian. Cool.
Philip said yes, I got it. And Jeffy said where's the link, so I can help you with that. Put it in the chat box for you. Donald said yes, and Jamie said I'm going to grab it now, Jack.
Good.
Then that said yes, on my way after the webby, said Charles. Thanks. Then John said already purchased.
Good.
Galissa said got it this morning. Oliver said will it get tomorrow. Anise said I'm going to, just wasn't sure if I needed the expert version since I already have the enterprise business. Okay. That said purchased early this morning. Alexa said got it. Donald upgraded.
Oh, great.
That just ping me if you have a login problem. So Jake said Borg Deluxe and very happy.
What was that?
Jake said I bought the Luxus, so I think he mentioned the expert, so everything.
Oh, okay, good.
No, the enterprise doesn't come with the website here doesn't come with the enterprise. No. Where is the sales page, Jack? I missed out of the web, so let me put them in private chat. What is the price of the expert? Is $37 on a dime sale? Is it not clickable? Is my link not clickable? Is that a problem? Copy and paste works, but it is not clickable. Okay. I can't help.
Dorin, D-O-I-R-N, the website hero is totally different than the local theme Jack enterprise and the services. What makes it different is primarily all the different training involved on it and the bonuses.
So if for some reason the link is not clickable, the website name is website hero.biz. So website hero HERO dot biz, B-I-Z. And you already imagine the .com was not available, but biz sound also good. Jorge said I got it. The expert comes actually with the multi-license. The website design review is part of the multi-license, so you will get that too. Yeah, Gary, just PM me on Facebook or send an support ticket at support@jackhopman.com. So if you buy, so let's go over. Shall I take the screen back, Tommy?
Sure.
I don't know how to do that, but
Just go change presenter and then go from there. I'll answer Arlene's question. How do we convince someone that they need more than one website? I don't convince anyone of anything. I am an educator. I educate them about internet marketing, and I explain to them about why they want to grow a huge online footprint. And I liken it, the way that I best can describe it to most people is I liken it to waterfront property, that if you were able to have, beachfront, waterfront property, which is prime real estate, wouldn't you want to have more than one lot on that peninsula of that prime waterfront real estate? And that's how I talk to them. And I explain to them that everything, their Facebook, their LinkedIn, their Twitter, all of their social media uh, properties are part of their online footprint and their online legacy, which become assets to them for their business. Because when they go to sell their business, if they have a huge online footprint, that becomes part of their assets that they turn over to somebody who buys their company. So I wouldn't try to convince them of anything. I would just have a conversation and educate them about the value of owning online property and how a second website would be kind of like they have a second home or high quality waterfront property. They're growing their online footprint,
Okay,
and they can't argue about that.
so Tammy, I think you are actually better to explain what is in the website hero part.
Okay.
Let's see where we have that section. Uh, so here's a minor everything you're getting with the website hero. So
Okay.
yeah,
You want me to go ahead?
yeah.
Okay. So in the basic website hero, what you get is you get the custom 21-point website hero checklist with the video training, and you've already seen the 3-point checklist and the 7-point checklist. It's just a simple checklist but with 21 questions, and I did a half an hour training where I go through and I talk about question 1 through 21, and I explain how to ask the questions. And then, of course, as I've explained tonight, every single question opens up 21 revenue streams. And I explain that as I go through the training. The proven power pitch, I actually made a PDF of more than one proven power pitch, but you get 2 pages of the best of all of the power pitches that we wrote together, and there were probably a good 50 of us who masterminded those, and then I had a whole bunch of people go out and use them in real life. So you get proven power pitches. The magic close is my evaluation form that I have tweaked, and I made a template. All of these checklists, you get a template so that you don't have to retype it or anything. I gave you a PDF, I gave you a Word, and in some cases I gave you a pages. I give you 2 different proven sales presentations that I personally created. One is the 21 ways to make your website rock presentation that I've updated, and then I also give you another one that is your website open for business, which is based on the mobile friendly update, but I updated it and it's all customizable, so you can put your name into it, take out my examples, put in yours, but any images that are in these presentations are all usable, royalty-free, commercial-free images so that you don't have to worry about that. And that's the basic genesis of what I provided for Website Hero. And then Website Hero Expert is where it really gets juicy, because you get everything that was in the Website Hero, which is basically everything you need to, get started. And then you get a local theme jack website design company WordPress theme. So you can have your website design company WordPress. And then Jack put in his multi-license, which is 5 different websites to get landscaping, painter, plumbing, remodeling, and roofer, which are all beautiful themes. That's actually when I first got Local Theme Jack. I started as a multi-license user, and then I graduated to the bigger license because I used the 5 that I started with, and then I want a chiropractor, I want an attorney, and then simple video strategies to grow the business. Now this is where it gets good. I give you more training, and I also give you examples for online presence analysis, and then I threw in some mobile friendly examples so that if you were to do want to do just mobile friendly, where you could talk to somebody in under a minute about their mobile friendly results. For those of you who have been using the mobile test checker and showing people if their website is mobile friendly, I show examples of that, and I actually did two test samples for two different attorneys, a cosmetic dentist, a hair salon, and HVAC, so that you could just get an idea of what I say in these little short videos. And this is something that you have to realize. You have to make it your own. I can give you examples, I can show you how to do it, but the best way to do it is to go out and find, I don't know, 5, 10 different people who you really want to be your clients and make these samples. And to tell you the truth, a couple of these I actually gave you my, like, I go, oh, that one's too long. So it'll say long version. Because what I realized is, oh, I'm rambling. And so the more that you do these and the more that you set them up and you know have point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you have your questions all ready to go that you're looking for or what you're going to point out, the better. And the only way to get good at it is to practice. I can show you how to do it, but it's like anything, you know, you have to practice. The more you practice, pretty soon it's just rolling, and you can pop these out very quickly, and you just get better at it because of practice. But I do show you exactly how to set up these simple online presence analysis and mobile-friendly test examples. Go to the bonuses.
No, there's one more. Did I skip that? I
Oh,
think
you skipped all of your all of your samples.
here, this one. We forgot that. Did you mention
Oh,
this?
okay. Yeah, I talk about that. To tell you the truth, in almost every single video I make, I reveal some type of strategy because it's the way I think. And so, but yes, that's included also.
Okay, I have to update sales page because this should be also in here. So the bonuses, access to the
Okay,
Facebook, I think you guys all
right?
have. Then
Okay. Now, these bonuses, and sometimes I have a tendency to, I start compiling these things and I go, my God, I ended up giving you guys like 20 extra videos. These have never, ever been shared with anybody before. They may be bonuses, but these are all recordings that I did when I was working. I was doing my own personal research, and I was like, well, I might as well record this stuff and see what happens. And I did these, and so you get 8 unlimited leads videos where I literally show you where to go find attorneys around the world. And as I'm showing you where you can go find the attorneys' names, their specialties, their emails, their addresses, their phone numbers, I'm also talking about how you might use this information to have them become your client. I have 8 videos just on attorneys, and then I have 8 on plastic surgeons and cosmetic surgeons. And there's a couple videos in that I actually called them my gold, because the one place I went revealed maybe 10 other sources. And I'm talking about finding plastic surgeons around the world, some even where I couldn't even speak the language to tell you what it says, but I know that I found their name, their emails, often their personal emails, and their other information. So I have 8 videos. And the beauty of all these videos, they're only 2 minutes to 5 minutes. Sometimes they might be longer, but most of the time they're very short, but they have really powerful information. Then I had tested this snail mail letter, and I actually had recorded the instructions to give to my virtual assistant on how to set this letter up and how to mail it and the whole thing. And I found this, and it was targeting Business Networking International people and Chamber of Commerce. And so there is like another 8 or 9 videos. 3 are related to the BNI, and 6 about chambers of commerce's about how to dig deep to find the people you're looking for within a chamber. And then, of course, the letter. I give you a video with the letter, and it's such a short letter that it's just a really nice short letter, and I tell you exactly how to use it down to what type of stamps to use and everything. And I used it, and I had to stop because I had so many phone calls and appointments. I just couldn't keep up with it because at the time it was me, and I just couldn't go to that many appointments and talk to that many people. So I had to quit sending out the letter because I would send out even 10 to 20 letters, and I would end up getting 3 or 4 phone calls. So it was a lot for one person to handle. But my bonuses, I think you're going to really be pleased, especially if you start, I'm pretty sure the wheels are going to start to spin when you watch some of this video training. That you're going to start to go, oh, I get it. I'm getting what she's trying to point out. I think you're really going to enjoy that.
So you get those bonuses 2, 3, 4, 5 with the expert version,
Yes.
and with the standard version you get Facebook access. So you might be wondering, Jack and Tammy, why did you put this as bonuses? Okay, so my logic was, and it is the real truth, if we make this list long, what you everything got with the expert with the website hero, you guys would feel overwhelmed. So I see you guys, oh, so much information. I don't have time to digest everything. So we split it up. That was the whole logic. But those bonuses are actually golden. They are real bonus. They are real products, I mean. So I want you to understand that those bonuses actually are part of the offer, but we split them up so you didn't feel overwhelmed.
And like I said, these are, you've heard that movie, what, Mr. Holland's Opus. these are like Tammy's golden eggs that I've been sitting on, and it was like I want to share them, but it's like, how do I get them out? And this was, and I here, Jack, do take these and do with them what you will, and that's how they ended up. But the value is, it's, I don't know, I can't even describe it because I know what I put into it, and I know the time Jack's put into it. This is a lot of hard work's been put into all this stuff.
So the website hero is $17 for the next 2 days. The website hero expert is only $37. So we couldn't make it more affordable. So I think we appreciate you guys as a member, and you are on the on you have the first chance to get this for a very affordable price. Any have a question about this before we?
Oh, John Lee makes a good point. He says, but doesn't it presuppose that we as marketers have a large online presence? Here's what I'm going to challenge every one of you to do is create your website design company, create your social media icons, and create your online presence for yourself. And then when you go out and sell it, you can say, look at what I've done for me, because they're going to look you up. And if you're there, and it does not, believe me, it doesn't take very long to create a massive online presence when you have your website as your hub, you make your social media icons, and even if it's Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter and YouTube, make some videos, just you can do all that in 5 days easily. I just put myself out there as an expert in a whole nother field, and I spent 2 days on it, and I have people looking at me as an expert in a field I've never been in before, but I made it that way because it's marketing. And I know how to do marketing, and I know what I need to do that. So go out, and the challenge for you is to go out, create your big, massive footprint for yourself, and then you have your multi-license there with your a painter, a roofer, a landscaper, plumber, and somebody else to get going, and boom, you've got a massive opportunity right there just with what you get in that website hero expert package. Plus, I gave you ways to make yourself stand out above the crowd so that nobody would ever think that you're a commodity. If you do the things that I share with you, they'll go, boy, where did you come from? They'll think that you are the internet god, in terms that's how we came up with the name Website Hero, is that if you show this value out in the world, you really are perceived as a hero. It's kind of the interesting phenomenon that happens when you do come across with value. You become somebody that people look up to.
So to show you that it is not a false scarcity, it is really on dime sale. So you guys see this? It's now $37.94. Everybody see this? Before I refresh the page? Everybody see this? $37.09. So let me refresh the page. Now it's $38.13. You see that? Everybody see this? This is not a false scarcity. That is how well the product sells at the moment. It's a real steal. So and I got another question. Where are the bonuses? So let me go to the members area, and if you go to the website, if you go inside the members area, you see website hero and you see website hero download. You see that? This package, total package, is 276 megabytes, and you download everything in one time. You get a zip file and you export it. If the mobile website export, that file is actually 735 megabyte big, and it includes all the bonuses, okay? Because we present it on the sales page as a bonus, but it actually is part of the product, okay? So that's how we just present it. Because I felt if we make this list huge, you guys felt overwhelmed. So we just make another section and call it bonuses, but actually it is part of the product. Those are not fake bonuses. Those are real good information. So how we did this on the on the membership side. I will still show each section, but to get you going fast, you have one download link, is 730 those. Fill up your hard disk pretty nice, and then you go through it. And there's also an introduction video from Tammy about, where to find stuff. Everybody got this? How the deliverable is? Okay. So don't wait too long before, the price increase in reality, okay? So there's no false scarcity. There will be never an opportunity that you get it at that best price. So with that said, I really appreciate you guys' attendancy and your feedback and your input and all your questions. We will have a next training next Sunday. I appreciate it if you bought Website Hero. Leave a message in the Facebook group so you can share your ideas about it. And I thank you guys, and I see you next Sunday at 8 p.m. EST. Thank you so much. Thanks, Tammy.
Thank you.